Hey guys, Void here with another video. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about some early ideas, some early theory crafting for Prot Warrior. You guys seem to be enjoying the videos I've been putting on this with Fury Warrior, well DPS Warrior and Survival Hunter. And I've been having a lot of fun making them. So I thought I'd make some more because this is really interesting to me. I think SOD is looking to be something really interesting and something really new. So we'll just go straight into it. So here are all the chest runes. This is all on Classic Wowhead. Talent calculator they've implemented in, so good job Wowhead. Makes life a lot easier for me. So I'll let you pause again if you've seen the DPS Warrior video. Of course it's all the same. So there's only really two options here for Prot Warriors, I feel, and that's going to be Flagellation, I believe it's called. I got it wrong the first time. Flagellation. Gain a 25% bonus to physical damage done for 12 seconds after activating Blood Rage or Circle Rage. Or Warbringer, your charge, intercept, and intervene abilities are now usable in combat, bloody blah. And also remove movement impairing effects. So I think at level 25, personally, I would be going Flagellation. Got it right that time, I think. Just, it's too big to pass up for threat. 25% physical damage for 12 seconds is crazy. That's stupid threat. Imagine popping that on pull. You're going to have a guaranteed devastate, and you're going to be doing 25% extra damage on that first devastate, which is 100% weapon damage. That's crazy. That's an insane threat just immediately. I do think Warbringer will be used on certain fights and, you know, certain encounters. We already know that we can switch runes like as we please in between combat, but I don't seeing it being as strong as Flagellation. It's just 25% pure extra damage. For threat, that is crazy, and it's not like Warbringer is really going to give us much else at level 25. You can charge in combat. I guess it's nice if a mob goes loose, but a mob isn't going to go loose if you're doing 25% extra damage. You're going to have more threat from doing that. So personally, I'm going to go with Flagellation. It's up to you if you want to go Warbringer. That's what I personally probably going to be going for. So for hands, I think there's really only one obvious answer here, and that's going to be Devastate. You can pause if you'd like. There's all the hand runes. Devastate, while you're in defensive stance and you have a shield equipped, Sunder Armor also deals 100% weapon damage, increased by 10% per application. So 150% weapon damage per Sunder. That is nuts. Seeing as Sunder did nothing before, I think it's safe to say that at least at level 25, you're not going to be seeing a dual wield Fury tank. It wasn't a thing at lower levels really, but this seals the deal with 150% weapon damage. That is crazy. Maybe you might see some weird spec with Quick Strike. I've seen some theories tossed around the Warrior Discord. I don't see that really being a thing. Although maybe, you never know, we might see a Fury dual wield spec in the future tanking with something like Single-Minded Fury. That could be a thing. Who knows? Victory Rush could maybe also be used in some scenarios. Maybe for trash. I don't know. It depends on how it works, because of course you have to kill the enemy. It depends if, you know, if your party kills it, will it proc in SOD? I know typically it doesn't, but you never know, that it might be different in SOD. Who knows? We're just guessing here. This is all for fun, pure speculation. But more than likely than not, I think we're all going to be going Devastate. I don't think it's going to be a hard rune to find. It's too good not to, or too integral, sorry, to Prot as a spec now, that they would hide it away properly. I feel like it's going to be a relatively easy rune to find, but compared to the rest, Devastate just, it wins completely. So here are the three leg runes we have at the minute. Again, this is the kind of rune I feel for Prot Warrior, because we don't really have a choice. So Consumed by Rage enrages you, bloody blah. After you exceed 80 Rage, we are not going to be getting over 80 Rage as Prot. You know, you're going to be spamming Sunders and then Heroic Striking, constantly doing threat. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to get over 80. Frenzied Assault is for two-handing, with Devastate being a thing. Just not going to happen. You're not going to be using a two-hander and tanking. So we're kind of stuck with the only option, which is decent for tanking, because it does let us AoE tank somewhat, which is Furious Thunder. Thunderclap now increases the time between attacks by additional 6%. Doesn't matter too much. Thunder Fury is still better. But can be used in any stance. So attack speed decrease with the damage that the bosses are doing in BFD that we saw doesn't really seem like it's going to be too needed. But being able to AoE tank kind of makes up for the fact that Paladin tanks are going to be so strong on AoE packs at the minute. So you never know. But Furious Thunder, you're going to have to choose it. You don't really have a choice. The other two, you won't, if ever, see any use of. So, yay, we can kind of AoE tank. You can use Thunderclap in defensive stance. Is it really that exciting? No, not really. So, let's go on some talents. Now, this is where stuff gets a little bit interesting. So, there's a lot of different combinations I've just been thinking off the top of my head that I've seen other people in comments suggest. People on the Fight Club Discord, which will be linked in the description. There's a lot of different ideas. I think unanimously, everyone's going to be putting their first 5 points in shield specialization. Seeing as Fury Prot, I know the dream. It's people are trying to push it. I don't think it's going to happen in SOD at all. I don't see them wanting to go down that route again. We had our fun with Fury Prot. Everyone really liked Fury Prot. But I don't see it being a thing again. I think they're going to push you to go towards shields and a typical normal shield tank. And seeing as we're going with Devastate, we got to have a shield equipped, so might as well make the most of it. So 5 points into shield spec, increasing our block by 5%, 100% chance to gen some rage when a block occurs. Pretty good. Better than defense skill. The bosses in BFD really don't seem to hit hard. Maybe they might buff it after BlizzCon. But for the time being, it doesn't seem that necessary. So for our next 5 points, Iron Will's kind of you've got Dispels passively from Holy Paladins. It's not really needed. So for me personally, just because of flagellation, I got it right that time, I'll probably be putting 2 points in improved Blood Rage. And also this leads into something else a little bit later on. And be going into 3 points in Toughness. Now, this is the fun bit. I feel like this is kind of where a lot of people are going to be deciding on what they want to take. And this is also going to be where people differentiate a bit. This is where all the decisions are going to be made. So I feel like the most likely one we're going to see is either a combination of 4 points in Defiance for an extra 12% extra threat. That's just good. We're going to be doing a lot of threat anyway. And then either going for 1 point in improved shield block. 5 points in Defiance, and then either going for 1 point in improved shield block or 1 point in last stand. I don't see much of a difference. I feel like it is either going to be improved shield block, improved last stand, maybe, possibly, 1 point in improved sunder. I don't see you getting as much utility out of that as last stand or improved shield block. I feel like most people will probably go 5 points Defiance and 1 point shield block. Although you could drop 1 point of Defiance and take last stand as well if you want that extra safety net for some reason. But it doesn't seem super necessary. Although on top of that, if you really wanted to just go all in with the threat, you could just put a point in Cruelty. That could also work. 1% crit's really strong. I see this being like the threat spec at level 25. It makes a lot of sense to me. But, have fun with this. Go wild. If you want to put 1 point in last stand, go for it. If you want to have a point in shield block, if you want to do it. Say that we're doing so much damage because of flagellation that you don't even want to put 4 points in there. You want to go 5% crit. That also seems like a really valid option to go for, especially with how much damage Devastate is going to do. A big Devastate crit is going to do some serious threat anyway. So I feel like you're not really going to be going into the arms tree. It's going to be up to you. Fury or Protection. Maybe for some AoE packs, I would say go down into the Fury tree, 5 points into the arms tree, 5 points in Deflection, and maybe get, reduced Thunderclap. But again, don't really see the point of it. So for the most part, I'd say just stay in Protection, maybe go for those 5 points in Fury. And just have fun with it. Make a decision on what you want to play, what you enjoy. Maybe you want more survivability. Maybe you want more threat. I feel like there's going to be a lot of wiggle room with Prot Warrior at the start of the season. So I think we'll just have to see with it. But personally, I'll probably be going all the way down into the Protection tree and picking up 5 points in Defiance and 1 point in improved shield block. So let's talk about some Quickfire Gear. I know some people have joked around pre-BIS for BEFD. I know it's kind of a meme, but you know, it's worth talking about. You never know, some of this stuff might end up being good. It also might help you to keep an eye out for items. I know people on the Alliance side who don't run SFK, or people on the Horde side who haven't run Deadmines before. You know, there's people who are exclusive to these factions, and you know, going over there might be worth it for you. I'm looking at this mainly from an Alliance perspective. So, you know, there's a lot of Alliance players I knew from Classic who never even did SFK. They don't know the loot in SFK. But being level capped is going to make us want to look at some of this lower level gear. So let's just go straight into it. Helmet. Spoke about this in previous guides before. NG gear is just so good. Your helmet options at 25 are just so limited. Spark Metal Coil requires you to go through the whole Duskwood questline, and I feel like that's probably going to either A, mess you up in later phases, you know, leveling. That's kind of a pain. There's a lot of XP from that. Fire Hardened Coif is an extremely long questline. It's not going to be worth it. There probably will be better in BFD. Humbert's Helm is a decent option for Horde. It can only be farmed in Hillsbrad on the right-hand side by the little dwarf gunmen. It's a 4% drop rate, isn't too bad. If you've got time on like day one and you're waiting for friends to level to go into BFD, or you just, you know, have spare time and you don't have anything better, go for it. It's not bad. 8 stam, 7 agi. Maybe sell it on the neutral auction house. It might sell for a lot on there. Who knows? But apart from that, you really don't have a lot of options as a prot. So personally, I'd say if you can't level NG, you only really have one choice, and that's Ringed Helm. That's 8 stam, 7 spirit, and it's a rare drop off of a rare mob, 28% chance. So you're kind of a bit screwed if you don't go NG. I don't know why you wouldn't go NG as prot, but each to their own. So for me personally, I'd say Ringed Helm. If you're Horde, Humbert's Helm. If you've got a lot of time on your hands, then go for Fire Hardened. Or if you're just, you know, so dedicated to threat, then I guess go Spark Metal, but I wouldn't say so. For necklace, for a lot of the greens you'll see in this video, it's going to be of Tiger, of Strength, of Bear, of Agility. Basically whatever you can find. There really isn't a lot of options in the neck slot in general, so it's going to be a green, or whatever kind of PvP rewards we get. Of course, the original Sentinel's Medallion is pretty good. They might update it, you might be able to get it sooner, who knows. But just get what you can. Any green item really doesn't matter too much. For shoulders, it's pretty much the same thing, although I do want to point out one pair of shoulders. So most people will be Tiger, Bear, or, you know, or Boar, sorry, whatever you can get your hands on. But elite shoulders, 6 strength, 5 stam. If you manage to get these, if you're alliance questing in the wetlands, if you have a group of friends, you can go check the spawn for this. I don't think a lot of people, you know, will be running up this way anytime soon. So if you can snipe these on launch, 6 stam, 5 strength isn't a bad, you know, a bad pair of shoulders. There's also 5 stam, 5 spirit ones. Even if you can only get those, it's still 5 stamina, still big. You know, it's better than nothing at these levels. So take what you can get. But me personally, it'll just be whatever I can find. Elite shoulders if I can snag them, or maybe something new that they add in. So for cloaks, again, of Tiger, of Strength gear. But if you want something relatively guaranteed, Cape of the Brotherhood, really good. 6 agi, 3 strength, 23% drop chance off of Van Cleef. You know, pretty easy to get. You'll be running Deadmines anyway for XP, so try get a Cape of the Brotherhood. If you're on Horde side, you know, Glowing Lizard Scale Cloak, really good. 6 agi, who cares about Spirit? If you're really, you know, dedicated as Horde, then go over and go get yourself a Cape of the Brotherhood. Go do a couple runs. It might be worth it in the end. Parachute Cloak is, you know, in theory, BIS. The recipe can be learned at level 25. The recipe can be farmed from like level 45 elites. No one's going to have it though. But if you, for some unknown reason, I guess, if there's nothing better, then I guess in theory, Parachute Cloak could technically be BIS, but no one's actually going to go farm the recipe, at least early on. I see some crazy people going off and farming level 45 elites in 20-man raids to try farm the recipe maybe. Who knows? I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen in the season. But Cape of the Brotherhood, or just kind of any of the Tiger, of the Bear, anything you can find really. But Brotherhood's probably going to be your main thing. So same as Fury Warrior, chest piece, really easy. Go Wailing Caverns, go get yourself a Mutant Scale, 13 strength, 5 stam. Or if someone's selling them and you got the gold and it's cheap enough, shining silver breastplate, pretty cheap to make, pretty easy to get, like training wise. So if you can buy it and you've got unlucky, get shining scale or shining silver. If not, just go get 7 mutant scale, 13 strength, 5 stam, really good. Lots of armor, male. Again, if not, just go for something green, you know, of power, of strength, of tiger, typical greens. Bracers, there's really nothing notable you can say here apart from Jorgens that are completely RNG world drop. If you get them, I wouldn't say equip them, sell them to some person who's for some reason wants to buy them. But apart from that, tiger, power, strength, boar, usual stuff. For weapon on alliance side, just out of pure easy to get, we want either a sword or a mace, of course, for the weapon skill. I'd say just take a cruel barb. With how much damage Devastate is going to deal, you're opening with a Blood Fury, or a Blood Rage, sorry, going straight into a Devastate. It's going to do crazy damage, 100% weapon damage, and it's going to scale with a 2.8 speed. I know it's not as slow as you would preferably like, but it's easy to get, it's simple enough, you might as well just take it. Maybe if you get like a fast sword that kind of competes at level 25, then maybe take that instead of some kind of green. If not, you're most likely going to be doing a decent amount of dead mines, I would say. So I'd say just take a crawl barb. It's easy enough, it gets the job done. For your shield, fun ones. It's going to have to be good old-fashioned Commander's Crest. Just, it's better than the other options. You know, it's got lots of block, stam, strength. Who cares about the spirit? You know, maybe you might find a really lucky green with something better on it. Crest of Darkshire, I do believe the quest is possible, but you're gaining 1 block, a little bit of armor. You know, you're gaining literally just some strength, but you're gaining some stam, but you're losing strength. It's not really worth your time. Go SFK, you're going to want it for other items anyway. Go get a Commander's Crest. There's not going to be a lot of competition. You might as well just go get one. For gloves, if BFD is a thing, like if we can go do the 5-man version, go get Algae Fists. Amazing. 10 strength, 4 stam. They are so good. If not, I'd say just go for a green of some form. Just whatever you can get your hands on, really. But Algae Fists, really good. So if you can do the 5-man version, we don't know yet. Just go get Algae Fists. Pretty simple. Easy enough to farm. Nice and easy. For your belts, there really isn't any like there's not a lot of good options for belt. It's all just kind of the same stuff or world drops. If you want something easy enough to get, then 8 strength, 3 agi, Cobra Hand's Grasp. Nice and simple. Just 8 strength, 3 agi. What else can I say? It gets the job done. What really else do you want? Maybe if you get lucky with a green, you get maybe of some boar or of tiger, then take that instead. I'm stupid, you can't get a boar or a tiger, but we'll ignore that on belt. But just take what you can get, any green. But if you do get a Cobran's Grasp, then take it. The legs, Leggings of the Fang. Or if you are on Alliance side, Chouses of Westfall, 5 stam, 11 strength, really good. Or if you take the legs, you want some more damage, some more threat, 5 strength, 9 agi, 4 stam, Leggings of the Fang. You know, kind of up to your personal preference, but you're guaranteed if you do one Deadmines run to get Chouses of Westfall, so it's kind of up to you. Just take what you want, whichever one you want. If you don't want to go do Wailing Cannons at all for the belt or the legs, then just skip it, take a green belt and take Chouses of Westfall. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Boots, there isn't really any good options. It's all just well drop blues or just greens. So just do yourself a favor of bear, of tiger, of strength, of agi, whatever you can get. So your rings, same as with DPS Warrior, tiger rings or bear rings, really good. But definitely SFK, Silver Lane's Family Seal, 7 strength, 3 stam, amazing. Definitely go for it. Apart from that, you know, maybe if you are so down bad on rings, if you want to go do a level 25 Stockade run, 3 agi, 3 stam, it's not bad if you're really lacking. But there's probably other stuff you can find from quests that was probably better than that. For trinkets, of course, there is no trinkets at the minute. We don't know what the stuff is going to be from the PvP stuff. But, you know, technically, Grandmasters, you know, could be pretty good. 750 to 1,251 damage and 1% dodge, you know. Probably pretty good for tanking, so maybe go farm Grandmaster. It might be fun to go do some level 25 PvP and Stranglethorn. But apart from that, there's nothing that we can see before going into SOD that would be really good for you. Just NG is always your best friend, so, you know, shrink rays or nets or mortars, you know, just typical stuff. Ranged weapon, as I've said in other videos, only one ranged weapon in the game with any form of stat, and that's ranged bow with 1 agi. Apart from that, unless you get that, you know, even then I'd say sell it. Just take whatever you can get. It literally doesn't matter. You're just going to use it for pulls. There's none that you can use as a stat stick in the time being, so just go wild with it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video talking a little bit about Prot Warrior. Again, just really early ideas. I'm just having fun with this. I want to say thank you for all the suggestions that you guys have given in the comments about just how to improve my videos or what I should talk about next. And it's been really fun talking with everyone about ideas for SOD. I think this has really been the most interesting thing that Classic in general has had in like a really long time. And coming home and making these videos nearly every night after work is really fun. It's really fun looking into these classes, really fun looking into new specs and ideas. And if anything, I'm just more excited every single time I make one of these videos. So thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, whatever. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.